morning. Today I'm going to extend the pivot tables to add on pivot charts. This is the end solution of what you're going to see. Last video we just did the pivot table like you see over here. You can extend down. I did add on the product name. As you can see, we had the category, the subcategory, and now we've got the product name. So if we want to extend down a bit further, we can. So now we're going to look at adding a pivot chart, which is really useful for CNAB reporting. The other thing we'll add on is some slices, so we can slice down and see the detail. If you hold control and slice down, you can actually see two categories. And this button over here, you can click to unfilter. The other one is doing the timeline. And the timeline allows you just to look at one time period. So you can see for this data set, you do not have any other products apart from the bikes in the first 2 years. And then there's a steady growth of clothing from 2007 to 2008. So once again, you can unfilter the dates by clicking the little X here. So now let's go and create this with our data set from last time. So this is where we left off last time. As I said, I added the product name, which you can do by just going into the product table and dragging it down here. So if I was to remove that and drag it down, you can see it turns back up. So if I wanted to collapse all those again, you can go to the collapse entire field and it just comes in with those. Otherwise you can expand row by row. So now let's add the pivot charts. So once again, if you click off the pivot results, the chart and the table information disappears. To get it again, just click back on the table. So sometimes in different versions of Excel, you can actually get from different places. So the three most common places I can get to the slicing information and the charts, which is over here, is from the Analyze. You can also get it from your data, but I'm not seeing it on my version of the data in here, and also insert for your charts. And you can see you've got your slices and timelines. So if we just go back over to the Analyze, if we click on this field, and then we can click Tables, and here it will actually show you what you've done last time. The thing I like about the Insert one is it's got you recommended. So I'll give you what it recommends. So often the bar type or the vertical bar type is actually quite a useful one. In this aspect, because I'm mainly going to drill down just by 3 categories, I'm going to choose a pie chart. If I had more categories, generally speaking, I wouldn't use a pie chart. I would use one of the column or bar charts. But the same thing, but different angles of viewing that. So today we're just going to use a pie chart and then go OK. You can move it. And now you can actually get to the information. You can actually drill down by these, but they're time consuming. So I actually like to use slices to do the drill downs. So let's look at adding a slicer. So once again, notice when I've clicked off it, so you've got to be on either the chart or the table to get to the slices, and then you've got your slicing in the menu here. So the particular ones that I want to slice by are my categories. So I'm just going to go to the categories and I might choose the product category. I'm choosing English, but if you have got different countries, you can choose the Spanish or the French in this data set and then go OK. So now you can see there's quite a few of the subcategories compared to the product category. So I'm just going to reduce that size a little bit and just move it below. So now I can actually select the categories either 1 by 1, or I can hold the control down and select 2. Sometimes it's nice to see numbers on here. So let's add that. So if I go click on the chart, and then you can go to the plus sign, you can click the title, which is already on. There's not much of a title yet. Your legend, which is down here, and then your data labels. I like to unfilter, otherwise it tends to filter for what you've got shown first. So then data labels is often the numbers. So because the numbers are over here, I'm going to change that by clicking here and first show where it is. So I'm going to choose best fit, and then I'm going to go more options. So in the more options, you can choose a percentage. You can choose multiple, but I'm just going to choose a percentage because I don't have a lot of room. So now, if I unclick there, you can see it's still showing over top. So let's go back in here, data labels, and if you hover over or click them, it will show you how it works. So that's centering them inside. So let's just try best fit and then do some drill downs. So once again, it isn't showing it unless you click it. So you can see now at least we're getting the percentages here showing. So play around with some of those options to see which one's best for your chart. I always like to add on a title. So I'm going to say sales by category, give it a good name. And then another thing that might be useful is to change the numbers here. Notice they're quite large. So change the numbers here so you don't really need for large numbers the decimal places, but you might want the comma. So if you go into here, if you just click on any one of them, and then not seeing it there, so let's go over here. So over here, the sales amount, and then go to the value set settings, and then the number format. So let's go to number, use this, separating, and you can see it's separating it in the thousands. You can change that and make 0 decimal places, and it gives you a sample. And okay, so that looks a little bit better then. So now when we actually drill down, you can actually see a little bit too much detail here. So that might be where you limit it to how many categories you can actually see. So maybe subcategories on the pie chart isn't the best option, but it's just giving you the demonstration. The other one is the dates, which can be useful. So let's go and insert a date. And so you've got your date, the actual dates down here. And you've got an order date and a due date and a ship date. I'm going to use the ship date because that's when the order's been actually sent. So I'm just going to drag it to the columns here. I mean, it is too many for the chart. So if I drill down into one of them, the chart, normally I do this before the chart. So let's click on one of the dates here and then go group just to try and reduce that chart, not liking too many columns. So once you're in group, you can select which ones you want to. So you can just click or unclick. So if you just want years, just choose the years. I'm going to choose all 3 just in case I want them in other time periods. So now it will take a little while and you'll see a change here. And it's showing the lot here. But for now, if you don't want the month, you can just drag it out. And you can see that you've just got the month still here, but I'm not using it. So if I don't want the quarter right now, drag that out. and just show the year. So I don't want the date either. So now that stopped that error happening. So now I can actually see the years, but not all the other detail. If you wanted the quarter back in, you can do quarter, and that allows you to draw down the quarters a little bit too. Just so I don't have so much data, I'm just going to remove that for now. So now you can see that you can actually see the results per date. But once again, selecting the date from here and drilling down can take a little bit. It's not too bad, but it just takes a little bit of time. So instead of doing it that way, we can add the date filter. So let's go back to the Analyze tab, and you've got this timeline for the dates. So if you click that, it's going to ask you which one. So in here, I was using the ship date. So now, in here, just select the years, just so you're not having all those dates once again. So now I can actually do that drill down where I can actually see what is making up. So if I want to just see the main category, and then I can see the other subcategories are actually coming into play in the last 2 years. So obviously the accessories and the clothing weren't in the company until we got to 2007, but their growth has been quite small still. So that's, yeah, the best fit still isn't working too well for this one. So I mean, inside, outside is probably still best. So maybe move that title up just so we can actually still see it. So now you can see how you can drill down a bit more detail, and you can go as far as the subcategories go too. So if you just wanted to look at that clothing, then you could actually have a look to see what was making up that clothing. Once again, to delete the filter, so you could have a look at accessories and clothing together to see accessories here still doubling what clothing is, but bikes obviously is taking over with how much they've actually got in bikes compared to the others. It's 94%. So that was just a little bit on how to add the charts and a little bit of formatting, but have a look at some of these other options, your title options that will show you how you want to actually show it. So show your data labels and also the legend, and there's more options there too. So just a little tutorial on how to do it and how to actually start analyzing the data from your results. So that's the last part of this tutorial. If you want to learn a little bit more about those dates, I added on some of the links that I found from that, which was your pivot tables within here. You can actually see that there's search is going to be hard to find, but this one here is a lot easier. It actually shows through how to do that group by. If you just need to go back and have a look at it, there's other functions in there. So just have a look through the excelexercise.com, and it will actually show you about that date function. If you want to see my pivot table one from last time, this was the YouTube. It showed you just how to get the pivot tables this way and actually sort out the relationships. So thank you once again for listening, and tune in for another video on data warehousing or pivot tables. Thank you.